Rico. Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I'm Jason. As always, my co-host, voice of MMA in Utah, Mr. Zack Partridge. What up, dog?
What up, homie?
So a little change of setup today. It's Christmas week, so I got to stay
home. You're a weenie and didn't make the drive.
Well, I got my daughter here today, so, you know.
Bring her.
Yeah.
I bring my kids to work.
She's at that tweener age, though. She's she's at that almost teen level, and I don't think we want a whining 11-year-old up there complaining.
I hope she sees that. Shay, I don't think you're a whiner.
She'll probably hear it.
I hope she comes down and smacks you.
Oh, man. Dude, what a freaking weekend of fights. What a weekend. Where do we start?
Yeah, I mean, Darren Williams, Frank Gore. Who could have asked for anything more?
How about Darren Williams, man?
He's not bad.
He's not bad at all.
And had Clint Williams.
Clint Williams in his corner.
Spears card was in his corner.
That was pretty dope. I did notice that. I'm like, where do I know that guy from? And as soon as I said that, you texted. I'm like, that's who it is.
Like, it's freaking Clint.
It's Clint. I've always kind of heard through the grapevine that Darren Williams was into MMA. Well, obviously he's part owner of Fortis MMA. But yeah, that was good. Should we talk about the Woodley and Jake Paul fight first?
Yeah.
A little bit of controversy in that one.
I don't think there's much controversy.
Okay. You wanted to give your take first? I'm going to give my take first.
Go for it.
Okay. So initially when I watched it, I'm like, something doesn't seem right here. Like, and I get a lot of people were saying, hey, Woodley kept parrying down with that left hand, right? He kept parrying. The way that was set up, Jake Paul is in his orthodox stance. He motions forward. I heard somebody say that was a feint. That was not a feint. It was not a feint. He was motioning with that right hand. He was signaling with, and as soon as he signaled that, Woodley dropped that hand down. Okay, we're not disputing that punch landed, right? We're not disputing that part.
He went out cold. He did not fake that.
All I'm saying is there's a lot of money in that. There's a lot of money involved in that. And we know, even in regular boxing, there's some shady stuff that happens. It just gives room for a little bit of pause there. Like, I don't know, man. I think it's great that he is given this platform for these guys, these older retired fighters. I think it's awesome. Get your money, get paid. I don't hate that. I don't even hate that Jake Paul's boxing. I hear people say, "Oh, fight a boxer." Well, if you look at any boxer coming up through the ranks that has skill, do they fight top guys? Not at all. They're fighting bums. They're still fighting bums, even at the pro level. They're fighting freaking bum. Watch any boxing card, and it's literally a mismatch until you get to the co-main and the main event. They're all mismatches,
pretty much.
So I don't hate that he's doing that. I don't even hate who he's fighting. I think it's actually pretty admirable that he's in there training because, one, he's big, he's an athlete, he trains hard. I understand all that stuff, but it just seemed a little bit fishy. And if you want my honest opinion, I think it's kind of a slap in the face to some of these boxers who've been doing this stuff since they were little. You take a guy like Canelo or a Terrence Crawford or, any of these top guys that have been doing this since they were kids. And you're going to come in as a grown adult in your, how old is he? Mid-20s? And you want to say you want to challenge Canelo? Come on, bro. Come on.
Let him.
I appreciate it. Let him. I don't think it'll ever happen. I don't think it'll ever happen because I don't not think there's enough money in the world for Canelo to do what Woodley did. Whether we agree that it was staged or not.
Oh, this is where he's done a great job. He is in the entertainment world, correct?
Yes. Yep, 100%.
Flirting in the sports world.
Flirting in it, yeah, yep.
And he's kind of just going in and out and in and out and in and out. And we're not really sure, wait, are you a professional athlete or are you an entertainer?
Yeah.
And those lines are getting very blurry and very mixed. I believe he is an entertainer. But I made a post about it being fake, or whatever. And there was a lot of good back and forth on there.
Yeah.
Here's the one. You can't discredit Jake Paul for his work ethic.
None. No, I don't. Yeah.
He has been working hard at being a boxer for a couple of years now.
Yeah. No, he's trained hard.
Right. So, and he actually has some ability and obviously has power. Woodley didn't take a dive as far as faking being knocked out. He was knocked out.
He was knocked out. He got cracked. But
I mean, everybody's seen that Michael B. Jordan filming the shut up, Kai. I can't handle that today. The Michael B. Jordan getting knocked out in filming for the Creed movie, right?
Yes. Yep.
He sits there and he does this, and then they go action, and he turns and the punch lands and it knocks him out, and it actually knocked him out in filming.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much when your hand's down and somebody hits you clean behind the ear on the side of the head to put your lights out, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not trying to take away and say that Jake Paul can't box or he can't whatever. He can. He has some ability, and he has also gotten better fight to fight, right?
Yeah.
He has.
No, he has. No, he has.
Here's my 2 points where I will say why it doesn't pass the sniff test as being legit and on the up and up for me.
Yeah.
1, Tyron Woodley has been boxing and striking for how many years?
Probably since he was a kid, or early adult. Early adult, he wrestled. So I'd say early adult. Let's just say early adulthood.
But I mean, 15 years probably. Whatever, that's fine. Although still doesn't know the difference between the 23rd and the 23rd. So, but
Zack froze.
Really?
Change your internet connection.
Oh, fudge.
You're good. Oh no, you keep going in and out. Zack's switching his internet. We still got dial-up internet up in Kaysville. That's what it is. It's the Kaysville dial-up internet. He's totally froze. I get what.
And we're back.
Yeah, there we're back. There we go. Okay, go ahead.
Now I have a good one. Okay, so here's my point.
Okay.
Is Woodley a phenomenal athlete?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's an athlete. No, I would put him in the elite athlete category. He's an elite athlete.
So you're telling me that Jake Paul in 2 years has made up enough ground to surpass Woodley's elite athlete combat fighting the top 170 years, being a top 170 year in the world for 5-6 years. And Jake Paul has surpassed him in just a couple of years. Jake Paul's been doing this for a few years now. Woodley's been doing it for 12, 15 years. You know, like that. There's just something that doesn't. There's just something that doesn't make sense with that. And so there's a very, very, very simple way for Jake Paul, which I have not seen him do or offer to do yet.
Yeah.
There's a very simple way to erase all doubt. No, not at all. Not angry. Post the contract.
Post the contract. I would actually love to see that. Here was another point.
Release Tyron Woodley's contract.
I would love to see that. Here's what another thing that kind of threw me off. How long have I been training, Zach? A few months now?
Yeah.
Consistently the last 2 weeks, but once a week, twice a week, here and there a little bit.
Yeah.
I saw that coming from a mile away. you can't tell me Woodley did not see this. Well, he did see this. He did see that's not a feint. That's not a feint.
I'm just saying, I'm not sure what exactly the deal was or the shenanigans or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But regardless, hey, Jake Paul, if you want to legitimize it and make it real, it's very simple. Have Tyron Woodley release his contract. Because here's the other thing. T Wood, there's a lot of rumors that on, you know, where he's at with things and money and things like that. Maybe he wasn't responsible with his money and he left the UFC and he needed another couple big paydays. And you know what I mean? I mean, and if that's the case, that's fine. If that's how he sold his soul to the devil, and if he can put a price tag on that, that's fine. The sad thing is now he will be remembered as the guy who lost to Jake Paul twice instead of at one point one of the top 5 welterweight champions of all time. That ship has sailed.
He didn't even look right after he got up, and I know he just got his bell rung, but it just looked like.
It looked to me more sad that
I can't believe I just did this.
Language. Huh?
I can't believe I just did this. I can't believe I
can't believe I actually did that. That's what I saw too.
Yeah. Not I can't believe I got knocked out. It's can't believe
I'm disappointed in himself.
I'm regretting signing that contract, saying that I would.
So for people who are like, no, that's legit. That was legit. He went to sleep. He put him to sleep. I also saw somebody that said that Woodley's chin was suspect. All those rounds he lost in the UFC, he never got knocked out.
No.
The only stoppage was Colby. Well, that's not true. Vicente Luque submitted him, but
Colby hurt. But that was a rib injury.
Hurt his rib, right?
His rib, yeah.
But none of those guys knocked him out. Gilbert Burns didn't knock him out. Colby didn't knock him out. Vicente Luque didn't knock him out. Usman didn't knock him out. So it's like, don't give me that nonsense. Like, I don't want to hear it. And here's the other thing. He literally fought on his way out, right? And he's over the hill and he's done and he's trash and he's this and that. He lost to 4 of the top 6 welterweights in the world.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not like Conor, who I'm like worried might not be able to beat anybody in the top 15. Like, I still think he would beat some of the guys outside of the top 15 at the UFC level.
So do you think that this was maybe a ploy from Jake's side to say, hey, we don't want the Tommy Fury fight yet. Let's pull back on that a little bit, reschedule it, get another big knockout. Now we build that Tommy Fury fight up even more now.
Well, here's the thing. At what point is I could be. But I think everybody. Oh boy, how do you feel about him calling out Usman, Masvidal, Conor, and Nate Diaz? Conor's ridiculous because
he can call out whoever he wants. It's entertainment, and that's what he's doing.
That's right. And here's the other thing: call me when he calls somebody out that's a free agent and not locked under the UFC's contract. He is calling out people that he knows 100% can't take the fight. And to me, that isn't even a real call out.
I want to see the Tommy Fury fight because Tommy Fury can box. That's the fight I want to see. If that's a legit fight, I want to see him fight. That, to me, that's a legit boxing match.
Sure.
But we'll see. I don't know what I have my opinions on it, and it just looked very highly
I'm
suspect.
not trying to say I know it happened. I'm not saying whatever.
What kind of weed do they have up there in Montana? He deserves Canelo. Dude, Canelo would hurt Paul. Like, he would hurt him.
I mean, it's entertainment, right? I mean, I watched.
Oh, I watched.
I didn't pay for it, but I watched.
I was just going to say I didn't pay for it, but I watched.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, and I wouldn't pay for it. I don't. There's just something that's just fishy. The Askren thing, fine. Dude, there's a lot of suspicion that Askren took a dive, and I'm not convinced that he didn't as well. It's at $500K to get knocked out and something that I don't care. Great. Marvin Vettori would murder Jake Paul.
He's not ready. Yeah.
Again, he's still fighting people that he is significantly bigger than, too.
That's true, too.
Right? I mean, anybody knows when you're young into striking and stuff, one of the hardest things to figure out is how to fight somebody bigger and longer than you.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Oh, we see it in amateur fights all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm finally getting comfortable finding my range against people longer than me, and I've been doing it for 4.5 years. I'm not even good at it. I'm just getting to the point where I get comfortable with it.
Yeah, I don't want
to see Mike Tyson in there with either of them. I don't want to see old guys in there with them.
No. I don't even want to see Belfort in there. No.
Can we get TRT Vitor?
TRT Vitor.
I wouldn't mind watching that.
I would not mind watching that. Oh, man. All right. Let's talk about SteelFist.
But that's the recap.
That's the recap.
But here's the thing. I don't think he wants the buzz to go away or not, if it's fixed or not, because he's in the entertainment business and he just wants to.
He knows what he's doing. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. I don't hate it.
It's all by design.
I'm not hating it. Not hating on it.
No,
dude, let's talk about SteelFist.
I don't hate on people getting paid. By the way, I do hate on this. Okay. As somebody that we give out sports picks around fighting and stuff like this, if there is something in that contract that says one way or the other, a no knockout clause, even or this or that or whatever, if those fights are in any way, shape, or form not on the up and up, anybody that lost money on those bets on those or won money on those bets should be
100%. 100%.
That's actually the part where I think that they're really getting into a gray area is, no, this is a real sporting event. And then you look at it, it's like, is it? And then people are betting on it. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, that's a dicey area. That's fraud.
One other thing I'm going to touch on that I'm going to got to give him credit for. He's also given some of these younger fighters an opportunity to be seen on these fight cards. You look at that, was there Ceriano, the girl that fought?
Was great.
Holy shit. And that's the second time she's been on there.
She can box.
She can throw down. She was, and she wasn't just walking through that chick. That chick was firing back and cracking her back. But that was a fun co-main event. So, I mean, good for them to getting some exposure out there, but it's still more of a circus to me.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down to SteelFist. SteelFist Fight Night did not disappoint, as always. First fight of the night. I think this is off on Tapology, and I don't have the sheet here, but I have Christopher Anderson and Hector Martinez. They weren't the first fight of the night, were they?
No.
I don't think so either. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'll get on Facebook because I know Dutch in his group has actually, I'll pull it up on here. I'm getting it, guys. What's the name of Dutch's group? What's the name of Dutch's group? Fight News.
Utah.
Fighting out of Utah MMA News.
Fighting out of Utah MMA News.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, now we're good. All comments. Okay, so first fight of the night was Jake Gonzalez and Darren Orvin. Jake Gonzalez wins. He wins unanimous decision 30-27. Next up was John Henderson and Caleb Montez. Second round TKO stoppage.
Those kids threw down pretty good.
Yeah, they did. Upload. Oh, Scott Bowler just quit using Tapology. Sorry, Scott.
Quit using Tapology. Why doesn't Tapology is like a great resource? I love Tapology.
If MMA Reg has it. Oh, I got to sign up. Oh, I can't sign up right now, Scott. We're in the middle of a podcast. Montez.
We're recording, Scott.
Second round stoppage. And then things really started to get crazy because one of your teammates, Ammon Garcia, defeats Eusebio Gonzalez 17 seconds first round. Highlight reel knockout.
Okay. I tried to tell people. I've tried to tell people how good Ammon is. And he had an unfortunate result in his first fight because he got hit with a wild punch. I'm not going to say lucky, but it was wild. And he got rocked and he got choked out. And I tell people all the time, he's tough. He is athletic. He is good. He is one of those people. He too. Also, he is one of those people that people. He works hard, but it comes naturally to him as well. And he hit so hard. I'll admit it. He's the last person to knock me out in the gym. Is Ammon when we trained together. And
I remember you telling me. I remember you telling me that.
He cracks, and I try to tell people how hard he hit, and he cracks, and I think people are sleeping on him a little bit. And and he's one of those people. We'll talk about him later. Some people are just made to fight in a cage, and some people aren't, right? And he is made for this. And he is athletic, and he fights with heart, and he's tough. He's gonna be a problem.
You know what's funny is when they were walking out and Salas walks out, right? I'm like, oh man, he's a Mexican fighter. He's coming in with the sombrero. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna text Zack and tell him Evan better watch out. I was talking to Tyler and just messing around. And then 17 seconds later, I'm like, I'm glad I didn't hit send on that text, man.
Yeah, dude. We always say things, and I tell everybody this, and it's good advice. But when you're in a fight, be first, right? Be first. And he was fighting at his range, and Salas threw a nice 1-2, and it was just out of his range. And he stepped into that high kick and boom. And I think it kind of rocked him a little bit. He came in with that 1-2, and it was over, dog. That was knockout of the night.
Scott just said that was a catch weight at 160. So props to freaking to Ammon on that one, man. Especially after after his last fight, for him to fight a little adversity and come through. Impressive win. Next up, Russell Souza defeats Danny Ceriano, first round TKO. Souza, if I remember it, Danny. Sorry, Danny. Hey, Souza comes in at short notice. I believe he was just a week. He came in like a week notice on that because he just fought 2-3 weeks ago. We just watched him fight kickboxing. If I remember right, he did not win that one, but that was a fun fight. Great back and forth in that. And dude, he comes in and gets a big win.
Yeah, man, it's really tough when he was on top of Denny and he got the TKO stoppage, but Denny was defending. I felt like Denny was defending pretty well. It didn't look like he was taking much damage in that. The stoppage was, but here's the other side of it too. If you don't want the fight to get stopped when you're on bottom, you that's where like your jiu-jitsu and stuff has to come and play, and like you've got to do something to be able to look like you're at least attempting to change the position.
Yeah.
Right. And or alter the position, but just laying there, covering and blocking, the ref's going to stop it.
He's shown a lot of improvements in his game though, because didn't you guys fought? Didn't you guys start? Yeah, he was warned 3 times to make the fight.
He was my first
and you guys fought at 205, and now he's fighting at 170. Like he's making improvements.
I mean, and he's vocal. If he needs to see something from you, he will tell you he needs to see something from you. And
Yeah.
if you're saying, move, advance your position, he wants to see that you're at least still trying. But just covering up and blocking is not intelligently defending yourself.
Yeah.
You're just going to cover up and block until the guy gets tired from punching you?
Yeah. I'm glad Scott's watching because I got a question on the next couple fights that I want his input on. I think you know which one fight I'm talking about too.
Yep.
So shout out to Russell Souza, Chris Anderson with a slick first round inverted triangle on Hector Martinez. Yeah, that was slick. Chow Wang defeats James Colvin's a second round verbal submission. I didn't actually see what happened. I was kind of blocked in my view, but dude, Wang is causing some waves too.
James Colvin too is he said he just gassed out and he's ready to get back in there. He said as soon as he can work on some cardio. So that's fun.
And then it looks like so Jordan Gonzalez got the win against Joseph Morales. And just reading the thing, it looks like he hurt his shoulder. Morales hurt his shoulder. So the second round TKO stoppage for Jordan Gonzalez. He's fun to watch too. He's fun. He's a fun kid to watch too. Yeah. Both guys, great fight. Next fight up was Jordan O'Shea defeats our boy Fiji. Third round TKO. Great back and forth.
Rear naked choke.
Rear naked choke. Rear naked choke. The question I had for Scott was there was a stoppage in that fight when O'Shea went for the takedown and Fiji fell back, and his head did hit the post, but I was wondering why there was a stoppage there. Like, should there have been a stoppage, or I don't know. What was your take on it? Did it seem strange to you?
No idea. I would love to hear Scott's.
I tried to message. I tried to message Dutch a little bit, and it was the middle of the night, and I know he's reffing, so or judging.
But
so that was one thing I wanted to stop. Is I was curious on that stoppage because he did hit his head hard, but wouldn't that be part of the cage, or was there something there that wasn't supposed to be that he hit his head on?
Hopefully Scott can get back to us on that, or Dutch is watching, or somebody.
And they don't have to comment on here, or maybe just message us and let us know that it just seemed like, from my point of view, I was like, maybe that should have been a TKO, but
part of the environment. That fight, I really feel like was, we love Fiji, like, we support him and sponsor him, and he's one of our guys, but that was a really good fight for him in a lot of aspects. One, he fought somebody that was size-wise pretty good size matchup, right? Two really big boys. Two, he fought somebody that was probably a little bit more athletic than he was, and he's probably not used to that too much. And Jordan, right?
Jordan O'Shea, yep.
He is extremely athletic for his size, for just athletic in general. And his skills with his kicks and that Taekwondo background and that point fighting background was impressive. You don't really see we don't really see too often two heavyweights skillfully moving the way that they do. And they fought a really good fight, and amateur is all for learning, right? And that literally tested Fiji everywhere, right? O'Shea tried to take him down, his takedown defense, his grappling, fighting another guy that could stand and bang with him a little bit, and going into the third round, checks all the boxes of when gaining experience as an amateur of what you need before you go pro. Win or lose, I think that was a phenomenal fight for Fiji, and props to Jordan. I don't know what SteelFist plans for him are, but I want to see him and Zeke now.
Zeke was in attendance, and Zeke said, "I'm coming to watch this fight," because him and O'Shea.
So I can read him now, please.
So Zeke was in attendance, and he said that they were actually scheduled to fight him and O'Shea.
That
so
connects the fence.
Hey, if I'm Pat, cool. Kevin,
no, that makes sense.
I'm making that match.
By the way, I don't hate it
right now.
I don't hate the stoppage either. If he hit his head on the middle part, and because who wants to win via knockout because your opponent hit part of the cage that should have been covered that wasn't,
but it was covered though. Everything was fine. I think it was just the way he fell, because O'Shea's a big guy, and he charged in, and that was in Fiji, the way he fell and hit his head. I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's an amateur fight. I don't hate it.
Yeah, there's no.
I don't hate it
have any issue. I don't have any issue with it. And like Scott said, the ref is the third guy in there. It's his discretion. Like,
yeah,
if he felt like that was something that needed to happen, it needed to happen.
It was an awkward throw. Yeah, that's what I thought too. It was strange. I almost messaged Scott, and I was like, I don't want to message him on the night of the fight. I figured we would talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, get back to you anyway.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Appreciate the information as always, brother.
I don't hate it. So it was covered. Yeah, that's cool.
Yep, fighter safety's moment as it should be. Yes, sir. Next up, Adam easily defeats Juan Alcantar. Look, man, Juan always brings it. He always brings excitement, but Adam was just on another level, man. He was just, in my opinion, he's good. He's legit.
He's been around for a long time.
He used his range. Those foot sweeps, he was setting everything up he wanted to set up. And this isn't taking anything away from Juan, because I know he likes to bring it. He's exciting. And look, he even said he hasn't been training at a gym. He's going to go start getting trained. Made a post about it. He's going to
move down to even 145 and do really well.
Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%. So, I mean, no discredit to him, but all the credit in the world to Adam, because he looked impressive in that.
Yeah.
And then co-main event. And before we even get into this, because I know we're going to give all the praise to Cole in the world because he's our boy and all, but I just want to give a huge shout out to Austin Mansky for, one, taking that fight on short notice when nobody in the state or out of state, Kai Stewart, would take that fight on short notice against our boy Cole Faust. And Austin stepped in, and look, he took the fight to Cole. He wasn't afraid. He was confident in there, and he looked impressive. And I think he's going to be a name that people better recognize and better watch out for. I think he's going to be a name that people are going to start dodging on that 155 list.
So
that was only his
Austin, very similar to Fiji.
Yeah.
He needed that. Right? That's a fight for him. That's a measuring stick.
It's a great measuring stick.
And it for him, there was no downside for taking that fight.
No, not at all.
You get to test yourself against the best in the state. Two,
yeah.
If you pull off the upset win, great. And three, if you lose, you'll at least fill the gap of, okay, he's the top, like where and by the way, you ready for the fight?
Yeah.
Make the fight for SteelFist. Not right away, but maybe next. Ammon Garcia for Austin Mansky, I believe, will fight one day for that 155-pound belt when Cole moves on.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Scott. That's right. All right. I still want to give him shit, though, Scott.
Yeah, just tell us.
But no.
But you know what I mean? Like, that's the, like those two guys. We just saw those two guys. Like, Austin was tough.
No, he was tough. I thought he didn't make it easy on Cole. I mean, he got rocked right away, and he still kept coming forward. Cole caught him with a pretty good 1-2 right at the beginning, and the kid didn't stop, man. The kid's got a lot of heart, and I'm looking forward to seeing him back in there again.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for anybody fighting Cole. I mean, obviously, I was in his corner. Very grateful to be in his corner. Teammates, sponsor him, everything. I spar with Cole. Yeah, I bet. I mean, they're all good, but it's just the kid's special. And if anybody if anybody thinks that they're gonna step in that SteelFist cage and beat him, they better be special too.
He is, he's a special kid. I loved his post-fight interview when he's like, "Hey, I was born in the wrong era. I should have been a gladiator." And
we had a whole conversation about that the night before. And there are some people that he is cut. Like Michael Chandler and Gaethje, when they talk about it, Cole was cut from that cloth.
Yeah.
And I don't think I don't and I'm not, and it's not my place to give away the secrets, but when I say that kid doesn't take any shortcuts, I mean it. That kid doesn't take any shortcuts.
No,
why people are, drinking or whatever, he's not. You know why people are doing whatever? He's training. He'll be teaching his wrestling class at One Hit tonight. I mean, when you talk about, me and you use the phrase all the time.
Yeah.
When we're evaluating fighters and projecting their future in our own conversations, and we talk about being all in or not.
Yep.
He's the definition of all in.
He is the definition of all in. There's probably a handful of fighters in Utah right now that we could probably name that are all in. And
we talk about all in, checking all the boxes, right? Training every day.
Yep.
Doing their own cardio on top of it, doing their own weight, strength and conditioning training, nutrition, always on point. Not getting, if you're a 170er and getting up to 210, 215, are you really, you know what I mean? Like, that's not, always, checking all those boxes, still being a human being, but checking all those boxes. It's having the discipline is
it's not easy.
It's different. And if anybody wants to really beat Cole, in my opinion, they're going to have to be all in themselves, or else they're just trying to cash in on that one out of 10 chance that they catch him.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to discredit anybody else. The last three guys that he's fought have been tough and talented in their own right.
Adam Easley, we just saw what Adam Easley could do.
Yeah, I mean, Adam's good. But here's the other thing too. And this is not to discredit any of us, because not as many of us are in the situation that Cole's in, but he's in that by design, But if you're working a full-time job and trying to train and do your nutrition and all that type of stuff, the reality is he's just putting in more work than you are. Because guess what? I mean, yeah, he's going to school, but he is also doing, his day, everything revolves around his MMA career. If you are working a construction job, or you're an insurance agent, or you're doing some other job, you're sitting in an office, you're driving a truck, you're doing whatever. I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong, but I am saying he is just making that gap further and further.
Yep. Yeah. And Mason just brought up a good point too. And he's so humble too. I mean, we got to spend a couple of days with him out in California over the summer, and that's the first time I really got to spend time with him. And he just a good kid, man. Just a good young man.
A good person. I mean,
just a good kid.
I'm not going to say names, but we've been around people that people kind of like and look up to in the MMA community, or in the public eye. And then you spend 10 minutes with them, and it's kind of like, what a prick. Yeah. You know what I mean? And me and you could both name a couple of those guys. Yeah. And I promise the guy I'm thinking of, nobody, probably even Jason, not even know, but he's somebody, I saw a couple Facebook posts even about the certain person over the weekend about how cool he is or whatever. And we've had just a couple interactions with him, and it's like, I don't think he's a good person. I think he's a prick. And Cole is the epitome of, he's nice. Scott, I would never call you hey, Scott, you know what? I'll call it to your face. You prick. No, I'm just kidding. I love Scott, but you know what I mean? If you go meet Cole, it doesn't matter if, you're some random person at EOS getting a lift in and you see him there, dude, he'll say hi to you. He'll smile. I've never seen him big time anybody. I've never seen him, kids love him because he engages with them. He went to a kid that trains at our gym. He went to his birthday party and hung out with them.
That's pretty cool, man.
You know what I mean? He got invited and he went. He's the best. He's the best. And by the way, in the cage, he's the best amateur fighter in the state of Utah, pound for pound. Love to see an argument.
What's next? Where does he go next?
Well,
one or two more amateur fights. I mean, he doesn't need to rush.
Well, hey, Sam Medell, right? He wanted to fight, asked for the fight. The only reason why he didn't fight is because he wanted to fight. He had a cyst or something on his neck.
Yeah, on his neck.
He thought he could just get drained and fight, and the doctor said, no, we got to cut that thing out. Stitches, whatever, couldn't get cleared to fight. I'm sure. I props to him. I would imagine they try and make that happen. I haven't talked to anybody. I'm just speculating. I would speculate because SteelFist does this really well, where if they have their guys that like Cole is loyal to SteelFist as he should be with their relationships, and they will fly people in or bring people in for Cole. I would imagine, if not the Sam fight next, right after that, or maybe next, you will see a very, very tough opponent, another guy that's high in the Tapology rankings, if you will, or whatever, that gets, if any of them take the fight, is going to get brought to Salt Lake City to try and dethrone the champ. And good luck.
Yeah.
As Aldo would say, good lucky.
Yeah. There's one name that I would love to see him fight that I think would be
I actually did bring that up. And
the only thing that I hate about that is
because we like both of them, but they are on each other's radar.
Yeah, because that, to me, that fight is that's pay-per-view main event stuff right there. Those two, because both of those guys we're going to see at the next level.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Props to Cole and mad props to Austin too. Next up, Nino, Janelle, and Calvin Perrington. What a great back and forth fight. Those two were going at it.
We knew that fight was going to be good because they're dogs. I'll message you, Scott.
We'll message you, Scott. We want to, yeah. Yeah, we knew both these guys were going to be dogs. We saw Calvin Perrington take a short notice fight against Cole. But man, Nino is just, and we've seen Nino fight before, and we knew what he was going to bring to the table, but he's a beast, man. That guy is scary at 170.
Yeah, and Calvin again is a 155er again that was fighting out of weight class.
Yeah, what's crazy is he's a big guy, because I've stood next to him before. I talked to him before his Cole fight.
Yeah,
and
he's a big 155.
He's a big guy. If he nails his nutrition down and can get to that lean 155, dude, he would be scary, man. He would be scary kid.
You're welcome, BG.
Yeah. Hey,
but I mean, if I'm Nino though, I mean, that's a guy that. I mean, there's some really fun fights at 170 here locally for him even.
I wanted to get him on the podcast, but he's like a ghost online. Joey,
he's not on
have Nino. Joey, get Nino to freaking
text me
next time. Get on the podcast or give him my phone number or something. Message me.
Talk for a minute.
Yeah, we need to definitely get him back on there. Fiji, your shorts turned out freaking dope. And shout out to Mrs. Fiji for calling you out yesterday. How about that? I like it. Fiji, we're going to get your nutrition lined up. You're going to be a whole new different fighter, bro. Whole new different fighter. But yeah, anyways, shout out to Nino. SteelFist never disappoints. That was a great card. Yeah, he does move in silence. We had him on the podcast before his last fight, and I don't even remember how we got a hold of him, but maybe he was on Facebook by then. Yeah, he's definitely a quiet, silent assassin. Good kid, man. Then we had some SteelFist fights on, not SteelFist, UFC. I'm still riding high off that SteelFist night. We had UFC Fight Night, Vegas. And we did pretty well. If you listen to the podcast, our picks did pretty well. First fight of the night was Jordan the Monkey King Levitt versus Matt Salas. And if you listen to the podcast, Zach and I were both very high on Jordan Levitt. That was my first bet of the night. That was Zach's first bet of the night. And I think he was just on another level than Salas. No disrespect to Salas.
Grappling wise, wasn't even close.
As soon as I saw the way Matt looked at like the weigh-ins and saw him in the cage, it was like, he ain't ready. He's not at that level.
You're not ready for that Monkey King energy.
Not ready for the Monkey King. Next up, we had Dontel Mays and Josh Parisian. I think we knew where this one was going to go. Dontel Mays with the win. Next up, we had Rocky Pennington and Macy Chiasson. I actually went with Chiasson on that one.
I told you to. Dude, I wanted to pick Macy. I wanted to. But Pennington only loses to champions.
She
That's
does.
all she loses to.
And
She's a
Chiesa didn't
savvy
do
vet.
she didn't do bad. She just
Who, Macy?
yeah, she didn't do bad.
She did great.
Yeah, she's just one level
Dude,
that she's
when's the last time you've seen two 135 girls just sit there and chunk leather the way they were at each other?
No, that was awesome. That was a fun fight.
Great. That was a great fight. And if you're Macy, again, that's another loss that you learn and grow from, to be like, okay, that's where that level's at. Dude, Rocky's like, I know she's not even a ranked girl right now, though, but like, if you're gonna beat her, you got to be tough as nails. And it's like, okay, that's where I have to dig to be able to beat somebody like her to start cracking into the top 10.
Yeah, it's a good win on there. Charles Air Jourdain and Andre Ewell. I think we both knew that. That was a fun fight too.
Jourdain is terrifying.
He's terrifying. Yeah, he's good. He's
Ewell's
good. He's
tough,
legit.
Though.
I think you took your first L on this one, and then Melissa Gatto and Sharj Eubanks. Dude, Gatto's legit.
So I was so happy the first time when I saw Gatto take down Sarge, and she just was out-muscled her and like rolled her and got on top. I was like, yeah, this is how I saw it happening. And second round came, nope.
The only difference is, because I agreed like Sarge, and I kind of assumed that was going to happen. Gatto fought very well off her back. She was not just sitting there and letting Sarge just have her way. But then that second round came, and it's just like, dude, she's scary at 125.
Yep.
Justin Tafa, Harry Hunsaker. I don't know why we went with Harry, but I don't hate it. I know why we did.
Here's just the problem. And I'm friends with Harry on Facebook, and I follow him, and I think he works hard and stuff like that. There's some guys that are just big and they get to that level because the UFC needs heavyweights, and he's a big guy, kind of like Josh Parisian.
Yeah.
Fair, right?
Very fair.
Here's the other
Very
thing.
fair.
Hey, Tafa. I don't know. I hate watching a guy miss weight at heavyweight and then get celebrated on a highlight, like on this big knockout. It's like, dude,
I'm not a fan.
You missed weight at 265. Like, I'm not giving you any props, dog. Sorry.
Yeah. You know me.
And guess what? I'm gonna bet against him next time too.
Yeah. So next up, we had GM3 and Dustin Stoltzfus. I actually totally missed that fight, but I did pick GM3 by submission, and it happened. From what I read, though, he was actually losing the fight. From what I read, did you watch it? Did you see the fight?
Yes, he was.
What it sounded like, Dustin was giving it to him, and he ended up getting caught. So either way, my bank account.
That's the thing. When you have a veteran like GM3 that's been in there for as long as he has, like, you can never count him out.
My bank account is now a little bit richer because of that. So cash it. And I got it at plus money too. Raiders are up 7-0, by the way.
That game's already started?
Yeah, it started at 3:00. It's almost halftime.
What the heck?
Yeah. Next up, Cub Swanson, Darren Elkins. I think we called that. Cub is just Darren Elkins.
Yeah, dude. I was all over Cub.
I love the post-fight interview. Cub Swanson said, you know what, maybe me and Uriah can fight to see who the king of Cali really is. I was like, ooh, I actually kind of like that.
Isn't that the perfect retirement fight?
Yes. He said that they're actually building a new stadium in his hometown. Is it Santa Clara? Is that where he's from? He's from SoCal, obviously, and I'm probably butchering it. Palm Springs area, it says on Tapology.
Nice.
Either way, dude, give me that all day long.
Uh-huh.
If they ever have fights back in California. But he looked good.
Dana seems like he's pretty okay not having it.
Next up, we had Gamra and Diego Ferreira. Gamra, he's wrong on that one.
You were on Gamra. I was on Ferreira. I just said that's a big step up. I don't know if he's ready for it, so I picked Ferreira. Okay,
I didn't hate
ready.
Well, dude,
he's 20-1 now. He's ready,
dude. This freaking 155 division is just, dude. How would you like to be fighting in the lightweight in the UFC right now?
I don't know. We'll ask Cole Faust in a few years.
Like Gamrot's not even ranked. He's not even ranked. There's Arman Shakarian, Diego Ferreira was 12. You got Fazid, you got Gillespie. I don't care about McGregor. Hooker's dropping down, so I don't care about that. Who knows about Ferguson, but we got RDA, Chandler, Islam, Darush. Dude, it's just such a freaking great division. Cub in Anaheim. Yeah. Yeah, I knew Arias in Sacramento. Oh, Scott, I should tell you the story, but yeah, I can't say it online, but oh man. All right, let's get back to that. Let's get back to the fights. So Ricky Simone and Rafael Senzao.
We were all over that.
All over Ricky Simone on that
what
one.
Up, Tony?
Amanda Lamos and Angela Hill. What is up with Angela Hill and all these split decision losses? I actually thought she won the fight, honestly, watching it live. I was like, I kind of think she won. Yeah. Fractured Fox says he'll fight in the UFC 155. How much to show? You got to ask Uncle Dana that, brother.
For you, $400.
4 and 4.
4 and 4.
Yeah, I to be honest, I wasn't that impressed with Lamos for. Yeah. Did you think it would? Do you think it went the right way? Did you agree with the decision?
No.
What was
if I was a judge, I'd probably knock Angela Hill -1 right off the bat just for her annoying voice.
Oh yeah, she was the one. That's right. She was the one where grandparents got abducted by aliens. That's right.
The aliens are tampering. She can never win.
Here's what the one score
Mind
that
control.
The one score that I didn't agree with is I did not think 30-27. That was Doug Crosby had at 30-27. Mike Bell and Camijo 29-28, 28-29 respectively. But looking at MMAdecisions.com, because you can see the media, how the media like Sherdog, Bloody Elbow, MMA Junkie, they can all submit how they think the fight went. Only one person had Lamos on there. Everybody else had Hill on there.
Yeah.
Either way, bleh. Bilal Muhammad, Stephen Thompson, once again.
Oh, stop it. Quit acting like you get out of here.
I just had a feeling on that one. I can't say I told you so on that one. It was just a gut feeling. It really was.
So I was watching that fight, and you don't know until you don't know. But to me, you know what that fight was? That was Father Time tapping Stephen Thompson on the shoulder, saying it's time, dog.
I think so too.
Because I think Stephen Thompson just even 3 or 4 years ago pieces up Bilal Muhammad.
Bilal's greedy, man.
I mean, no, he is, but I mean, dude, T Wood as the champ couldn't do that. Couldn't wrestle Stephen Thompson like that. You know what I mean?
Really talking about,
dude, everybody tries to wrestle Stephen Wonderboy Thompson like that. And now what? Is Bilal the second coming of Khabib? Get out of here. Here's what I don't like at all. Bilal comes in the pit post-fight interview after getting his you-know-what beat by Leon Edwards until he got poked in the eye, until the eye poke, right?
Yeah.
And he's trying to make a case for why he should jump Leon and be next for the title.
Let them run it back.
Let him run it back. You didn't want to before, but now let's do it.
Yeah, I let him run the back. What does Thompson do? Can Thompson still hang with anybody in the top 10?
He can hang with anybody that's willing to stand and strike with him or doesn't have high-level wrestling. Because Bilal is gritty and he has high-level grappling.
So maybe like a Masvidal. That not enough attention for that, right? I don't think enough people would be interested in that. Masvidal, I think, needs a bigger fight. I agree, though.
Dude, let Masvidal and Wonderboy run it back.
Masvidal, Wonderboy, or I still want to see Masvidal Edwards. That's the one I want to see. Didn't it look like Nate Diaz when he freaking flinched at that guy? I could have swore that was freaking Leon Edwards. Somebody said it was a Bellator fighter.
That was funny.
Nate and Wonderboy. There you go, Scott. Look at Scott being matchmaker.
Scott,
I don't think Nate.
That's his roots.
All right, main event time.
I do like
Derek Lewis and Chris Daukaus. We knew it was going to happen.
Bro,
We
I
knew it
was
was going to
all
happen.
over it. I just thought it would take him a few extra rounds. Dude, Daukaus wasn't afraid to try to exchange with him, and he got
No.
blanked.
Dude, Derek Lewis. His post-fight interviews are. Did you see the dude try to do a cuppy, not a shoe? He tried to do a cuppy.
Oh,
Try to
that is
drink.
foul.
Oh,
Oh,
Derek Lewis throws his cup in the audience, and some guy takes it. And I think I didn't see it, but I just heard somebody say he tried to like take. Dude, bro,
not good.
to each their own. I don't know what people are into. Do your thing. Some stuff should just be kept behind closed doors, and that's one of them.
That's just one of them.
Did you see when they asked when they told Derek Lewis, he's like, "Hey, you should be ready because of all the stuff that's going on right now. We might have a dropout in the Gain and Francis fight, so keep your phone on." And he's
He
like,
never beats either of those guys.
but he's like, "Man, I guess." Like he's like, "I just told you guys I didn't want to do a 5-round fight." He's like, "If it's 3 rounds, yeah, I'll do it." How can you not love that guy? He's great. He's great on the mic.
But here's the problem. Who do you give to him? They just gave him a big up and comer. Is he going to just knock down all of him and Tom Aspinall next, maybe?
Tom Aspinall is kind of in that same
ranges.
It kind of ranges Daukaus is if he's at that level, like a Gain that can keep his distance and is smart. Is Tom Aspinall that guy, or does he get caught like Daukaus?
I think Aspinall is better than Daukaus.
I do too. I think he's a little more athletic than Daukaus. But yeah, man, the Black Beast getting it done. What is he? How many KOs? How many KOs does he have right now?
1 billion.
Yeah, we did see that. We were just talking about that. About Nate flinching. Yeah,
that has Tony written all over it. Tony does stuff like that.
Yeah, I think somebody said, almost positive somebody said it was a Bellator fighter. Not AJ McKee. It was like some lower level.
Yeah, could you be a professional fighter and Nate Diaz walks by and punks you like that?
And you don't just flinch. You freaking spill your beer, and now it's all over Twitter, and you're getting memes made out of you. And
that's funny. Okay.
Crazy.
Hey.
Okay.
2021 recap.
2021 recap.
You got our list? This is our last podcast of the year.
Oh, Scott's going to find out who it was.
Just a little name drop there, Scott Bowler. Just texted Nate. Hey, Scott, see if you can get Nate Diaz to come on our podcast.
Get him on the podcast. Hey, we are one of the top 50 podcasts in the nation, MMA podcasts that you should be listening to. Just saying.
I was going to say that.
I didn't make the list.
Everybody, because that was cool.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, let's see the year in review. How did we do? I don't even know who I picked, but you're going to give me my list. So
no, I don't. I thought I had the list. I think when we moved, I think we lost it. I know I was wrong because I picked Wonder Boy to be the 170 champ by the end of this year. I was for sure wrong on that. I do remember I believe I was right. I had Moreno and you had Figgy as the 125 champ.
Yeah, I do remember that. Okay.
I also had Cody Garbrandt as the 135 champ. That didn't age well at all.
No.
I had Max as the 145 champ. That didn't age well. I don't know, but hey, but now that we have the podcast studio and it's like we're like locked in at this place, I'm writing it down.
Okay. So are we going to do our predictions for next? We're gonna. Okay.
So we're ending on end of 2022. Who's your 115-pound division champ?
115-pound champ. That would be. That's flyweight, right? So.
Yep.
Shevchenko. Nah, it's Shevchenko.
No, Rose. That's Rose's division.
That's strawweight then, right?
Oh, strawweight. I'm sorry, strawweight.
Yeah, strawweight. Ooh, this one's tough because there's some killers coming up in here. I'm gonna go with Rose. I'm gonna stay with Rose
as well. I think Rose is still the champ at the end of next year.
But there's people. There is women nipping at her heels coming up in that.
Well, I think you have to make the fight with her and Carlo Esparza.
That has to happen.
And then I wouldn't be surprised if she fights that other Chinese girl, the Yang.
Okay, by
the end of the year as well.
Okay, I'm in.
But we're both on Rose. Okay,
both on Rose.
125. Valentina,
Now,
mark it
it's
in.
not even close. I don't even think there's anybody coming up that I can see challenging her. Just looking
I will tell you the girl,
the man on Farouk, but I still think she's a little bit.
the girl that gives her a fight.
Santos? I don't think there's anybody in the top 10 right now.
Nope, you're right. It's not. There's nobody.
But at the bottom, I could see if when we do this list at the end of next year, you could see a couple of these other girls popping up there. Maybe.
Okay. Bantamweight. Who is your bantamweight champion at the end of 2022? Female.
My female bantamweight is sorry, I'm looking at all the list. Pena is there. This one is tough because there's so much we don't know yet. Are her and Nunez going to run it back?
Yep.
Nunez is going to be your champ.
You got Amanda's regaining her throne?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think she'll fight smarter. I think she knows if this rematch happens.
So I think that was a hold on. I actually think that was more mental than it was physical for Nunez. And because of that, hold up.
Wait a minute. Who's going to beat Penne?
I'm going to go out on a limb on this one.
Go. Do it.
I don't think the champion is Juliana Pena or Amanda Nunez.
Ooh. Who you got, dog? Rocky?
I think you're going to see Holly Holm as the champion again by the end of the year.
Really?
She's going to make one more run.
Okay.
I think stylistically, Juliana Pena is a tough fight for Juliana. If Holly could get enough, because Holly couldn't really get back to the title picture anyways with Amanda there.
Does Valentina move back up?
Yep, I'm going to Scott. Valentina's being champ by the end of the year. I'm going to Scott.
Ooh, I might have to change my pick. I like that too.
Great call, Scott. I like that too. I do think Pena beats Nunez in the rematch again, and I think Valentina comes up and beats. That's a great Scott.
Scott coming in clutch today. All right, I'm in. Change mine. I'm in Valentina. Champ.
Okay, I'm going Valentina or Holm. I'm putting an asterisk next to that.
You have to make a decision, Zach. This is.
Hey,
you can't be.
Hey,
I don't know.
You're the worst flip-flopper and picks I've ever met in my life. You will make picks on this podcast and bet on the other person the next day. You don't get to tell me about making a decision, sir.
That's only when I don't watch the face-offs. I always change my pick after I watch the face-offs. Yeah. This is the end of the year. You have to be solid. You have to say, this is who I want. This is who my pick is. All right, next up. Who's up?
Screw
What's
you.
next?
I'll do whatever I want. Hey, you ready? Featherweight champ?
Featherweight champ.
Kayla Harrison.
Ooh. Kayla Harrison making her debut. Okay. I don't hate it.
Are you on Nunez or Kayla Harrison?
No, Kayla Harrison. I'll go with it. If she gets signed with the UFC. If not, I'm
just predicting. I'm predicting she gets signed. I'm predicting her and Nunez fight after Nunez loses to Pena, and I'm predicting Nunez is retired after losing 3 fights in a row.
Okay. I like it.
She's going to learn from Connor's mistakes and retire when she should.
All right. What do you got next?
Your UFC men's flyweight champion.
Oh, this is so tough.
This is so easy for me.
I think Moreno's going to win. I think he's going to win in January. The question is, does he beat Askarov or Pantoja?
Well, I think Askarov and Kai Kara France is the next eliminator fight is what it should be.
That's the next eliminator, and
Pantoja's right there.
I'm going to go with I'm sticking with Moreno.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Moreno.
I'm sticking with Moreno. Yeah.
I actually just think he's better than those guys, and he's still getting better.
Yeah, I think so too.
Who's your bantamweight champion? Aljamain Sterling.
No. Jan.
Jan?
Yep, Jan.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird how it happens.
Okay, let's hear it.
I think Jose Aldo's the champ.
I don't hate it, but I don't see him beating Jan.
I don't think he's going to have to.
Who's going to beat Jan?
TJ Dillashaw.
I don't think that's going to happen either.
Okay.
But I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
By the way, if Jose Aldo beats anybody else next, he gets a rematch with Jan, I think.
You got to give it to him.
And he looked the best he's ever looked, I think, in his last fight.
The last couple fights, he's looked phenomenal.
And he did it, but then he did it for 5 rounds.
Yeah.
He
scary.
Beat the brakes off Rob Font.
Oh, you freaking stop it. Sean O'Malley, let's just put this on there. Sean O'Malley's not going to fight a top 10 guy before the end of 2022. How about
That's
that?
Not true. That's not true.
You think he'll fight? Who is he going to fight? He'll fight one top 10 guy in 2022?
Pedro Munoz is top 10. I see that. I could see him and Dominic Cruz fighting.
He lights Dominic Cruz up.
Like a Christmas tree.
Yep. All right, next up, who you got?
Featherweight.
Who we got? Featherweight. Volk. I'm staying with Volk until he gets dethroned. Oh, never mind. Scratch that. Into 2022, Gige is going to be your champ.
You're so champ. Dumb. I can't. I hate you so much.
I'm doing it. I'm saying it. I'm on the Gige train, man. I'm on it.
Okay, you're on the Giga train.
He's beating Cater.
I am going to go ahead.
You're wrong.
Yeah,
you're wrong.
I'm sorry. I'm staying Volk. I'm staying Volk. Dude, the way he beat Brian Ortega and got out of the triangle guillotine, he didn't lose the dog. He didn't lose it. He beat Max Holloway twice. The second one was questionable, but the way he beat Ortega, no, I'm staying Volk. Get out of here.
I get it.
Get out.
I don't hate it.
It's either him or Max Holloway. It's either him or Max Holloway, and I don't think Max is super interested in fighting him again right now.
Yeah. I'm going Gige. So how about this? How about Gige is going to beat Cater? So how about then Gige and Max?
Good. Let's do that. Because then my boy Max is going to end your hype train.
That's going to be our next big bet.
Kick to the balls.
Market. Book it. No, we're not doing kick to the balls.
I would love to.
No.
If I get a kick you in the balls because Giga loses, that would be so gratifying for me.
No. We'll come up with something. We'll come up with something really good for that one. But I'm all in on that fight.
Bro, I have somebody come in and goes, "Who's drinking beer at the office?" The empty Corona can is in the garbage in the restroom.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh man. All right, what are we on? Lightweight now?
Yeah. Who is your lightweight champion at the end of 2022?
See, yeah, Dutch, right? He does, doesn't he?
There's only one answer to this.
I know who you're thinking, and I'm staying with
you
Dubronx.
You can be right or you can be wrong, but there's only
I'm riding Dubronx. I am riding Dubronx. I'm riding the wave. I'm riding the wave.
That's another easy dub for me.
You think it's Islam? He's got to get past Benny, dude.
Islam. Are you kidding me? Who's beating that guy? For real. Dubronx is beating him? Get out of here.
Charles is fighting at a very high level right now. Very high level.
You're out of your
And it's not like Islam hasn't been beat before.
He got caught once with a punch.
You're talking a high-level Dubronx who is like, I'm staying with him. I'm staying with him. It's my
I have a question. When Vegas, the lines come out and Dubronx is an underdog, how much money are you going to lose on him to Islam?
$20.
Okay, that's fair.
2 units.
You're not going 10-unit max play?
No, I'm not that stupid like that idiot on TikTok doing 50 units on this. But I'm like, did I tell you that guy hit me up? He's like, hey, man, you going to join our VIP? And I'm like, no, bro. Sorry. Like, you're
I
a
haven't
freaking
said
clown.
something really inappropriate.
Yeah, like you're a freaking clown, dude. Yeah, all I'm going to say is I'm super excited for Islam and Darush. That fight is going to be
Okay,
that's the fight that
I
I'm
have a
looking
question.
forward to.
If Islam does to Dariush what he's done to everybody else, are you gonna rethink your answer a little bit?
No, I'm going to stick with my pick.
If he runs through Dariush, and I'm not convinced he runs through him, but
I'm not convinced he runs through him.
I'm
then
still
no.
Because I think Dariush and Oliveira is a very fascinating fight.
For what Oliveira's been able to do to Poirier and Chandler these last two fights, I just think I think his confidence is at an all-time high. And I look forward to him and Gaethje throwing down a lot. All right. Welterweight division. Do we even need to talk about that? Nobody's beating Usman. I'm said it. Nobody's beating Usman.
Chimaev doesn't beat Usman?
Nope. He's not going to get a chance to fight him this year.
Oh, you don't. Oh, so it's that fight's not going to happen yet.
It's not going to happen yet, so it gives me more time to think about it. If they fought right now, I'm going Usman still. Yeah.
Against Chimaev?
Yeah. Mindset, man. Mindset. Unbreakable.
You know who
Go ahead and say it. Bilal Muhammad. Go ahead. The bully. Who do you like?
Feed Bilal Muhammad to Chimaev, please.
I actually think if Edwards fights Kamara, stylistically, I think it could be interesting. But I think he dies.
He goes to sleep. He goes into the same realm that Jorge Masvidal's still floating in.
Oh man.
All right, I'm going Usman as well.
Okay.
You know what? I'd scratch that. Chimaev. I'm going Chimaev. I'm all in on the Chimaev chain. Chimaev runs through Colby Covington. That instantly makes him the number one contender. And next fall, we're going to have Usman and Chimaev beats Kamaru Usman.
Okay.
Towards the end of 2022.
All right. Ooh, he's got some stuff to look forward to. All right, we're at middleweight division. 185. Izzy Whitaker. I mean, the only one that really has a chance right now
is Alex Pereira.
I want to give Whitaker all the credit in the world, but I think Izzy still gets it done again. And if he gets through Whitaker, which I am leaning he does, I don't see anybody in the top 15 beating him right now.
Well, they're 1A and 1B, and I just think Izzy's
I just think he's better. Whitaker. And how much is that knockout going to play in his head? You're a fighter. You get knocked out like that? Is that going to play in his head, or is that going to give him more motivation?
Whitaker's mentally tough and whatever. I just don't see where Whitaker can close that gap.
Could we see Whitaker level up and maybe Izzy get a little bit too confident?
Vittori is dangerous, but Izzy's already beat him twice. That's not happening.
Yeah, I don't think see that.
I like Vittori a lot. Sean Strickland? I think Sean Strickland gives Izzy actually a really tough fight.
I just want to be there for the press fight conference. Fight.
Gosh.
Oh man, those two guys. I'm going to stick with Izzy.
Sean Strickland. Chris Curtis.
Chris Curtis is our middleweight.
He's their 205 champ.
205 champ. It's Glover right now. Yuri's going to be the champ by the end of the year.
That's who I have too, unfortunately. I hate agreeing. I wanted to go disagree on that.
What about Magomed Ankalaev?
Magomed, possibly, or Rakic, I could see.
Rakic? Aren't Rakic and Yuri scheduled to fight?
I don't know. That'd be fun. No, Glover and Yuri are next.
Is it Glovey and Yuri next?
Yeah, Yuri's next for Glover. It's too bad Europe's not opened up because of COVID, because that would be a really fun fight for over in Europe to have.
No, you're Rakic and Blachowicz. Did you say that?
Oh, yeah.
That's the fight.
That's the fight.
Yuri stays ducking Rakic. Well, I think the winner of
Yuri's ducking anybody.
I think the Rakic and Jan fight is going to be
bananas.
Determining effect on that. All right. What else do we got? Oh, heavyweight.
Who is your heavyweight champion of the UFC?
Gain. All day long.
I actually think that Izzy remaining the champ is the 100% safest bet.
Really?
I think
even over Valentina?
Of the men, I should say.
Of the men, okay.
That's set, game, set, match, lock, ironstone, whatever. Valentina for the women, not going anywhere. Izzy, not going anywhere. And I would say at heavy, the one that I'm the third most confident in is actually Gain at heavyweight.
Yeah.
I'm going to be keeping these. I'm going to be keeping these, and we will have them up in the studio. All right.
Well,
what are the 3 fights that aren't scheduled that you want to see happen?
Okay. 1, we got to get Chimaev in there with Neil Magny. I want to see that. It's not scheduled. We need to have that.
Out of everything, there's Chimaev versus Neil.
I'm just going and looking at 2, Covington and Jorge.
Yes.
I got to have Covington. In fact, I would put that above.
That's my number 1.
That's my number 1. That's actually going to be my number 1. I can't. Gaethje and Oliveira already scheduled. Valentina to try to go champ, whoever is the champ at bantamweight. Pena or Nunez. I did book that one too.
How about this? Does Conor versus Nate Diaz 3 do anything for you now?
Nothing. I could care less. Could care less about that fight. I'm going to watch it, but I could care less about it. Oh, Jan and Dillashaw. Or Dillashaw and Aldo. Oh,
see that's
give me Dillashaw and Aldo.
I really want to see, because I mean, here's the thing. I'm sure Aljamain Sterling's a great guy. Yeah. I'm sure he's nice, and he is the champion because Jan threw an illegal strike or whatever. But there is a big part of me that just wants to see Jan absolutely destroy Aljamain Sterling. He's been kind of annoyingly trollish with it. And when you take on the role of troll, Kai Stewart, and people want to see you get smashed, like that just is what it is. Lewis what?
He's definitely
Derek Lewis what?
He definitely will he's definitely embraced that role, the troll role.
Which I don't hate, by the way.
On Twitter, he is it's so obvious that he's trolling people, and you should see all the comments like, nah, you're the paper champ. And it's like, dude, he's totally trolling.
You know what's still incredible to me? That trolling still works.
It blows me away. I mean, I have a burner account and it works for me all the time.
I do too.
I love it. Just so I could. Jan will get it back. Yeah, I'm with you, Scott. I'm with you. Jan gets it back. But although Dillashaw is a fight, and we just talked about it earlier, give me Cub Swanson and Uriah Faber too.
Oh, that's fun. I think that's fun.
It's a fun fight.
You know, I'd be okay if I never saw Uriah again, though.
What about? Do you have any interest in seeing Poirier fight Covington? I don't, for some reason.
Yes.
You do?
You don't?
I would rather see Covington fight Jorge. I don't.
See, here's the thing. If you insert Poirier into that 170-pound mix,
yeah,
that just, I mean, you talk about because you're not just talking about really good fighters too. You're talking about big names. You enter Nate Diaz into there, Poirier, Covington, Masvidal, Gilbert Burns,
Sean Brady.
Leon Edwards, all those guys. Vicente Luque could beat every single one of those guys, possibly.
We haven't talked about Luque.
It's that division gets wild.
Dude, and what do we do with Ferreira?
Jeff, I will bet you whatever you want to bet that Derek Lewis is never the UFC heavyweight champion.
That ain't happening. We've already seen it happen.
Unless there's a heavyweight UFC heavyweight competition of eating fried chicken, he's done. And even still then, DC comes back and wins that title.
DC is getting thick.
Because he's like 320 pounds now, just
easy.
Thick. How weird was that whole DC with Cruz altercation thing?
I think that
Cruz the biggest prick.
I think the context of listening to the whole conversation wasn't as bad as they made it seem. It's just my opinion. Dude, what about Alex Pereira at 185? Because he's going to get a name next. Is he going to get a name next?
Here's the problem. I talked to a manager who manages UFC fighters.
Yeah.
And they were trying to get Alex Pereira to fight one of his guys. And he was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Right? It's because here's the reality of fighting Alex Pereira. Anybody that he fights outside of the top 15, a lot like Chimaev, it's really just a formality.
Yeah.
You're just trying to at least say, yeah, he earned his way up there. But skill set wise and stuff right now, dude, he's top 15 right now. He is top 15 right now. Like the day he entered the UFC, he's top 15.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody sleep people the way that he slept that dude in LFA.
Scary.
Never.
Scary.
So, and then they give him that homeboy at Madison Square Garden at the UFC fights. And that guy tried to wrestle him, and he has Glover. And Alex Pereira has Glover Teixeira in his corner, and he's training with Glover Teixeira. So he's getting very well versed in fighting, his wrestling and grappling, and he looked extremely competent and able. Now, here's the thing. You put him against an elite wrestler, he's going to get put on his back, and he's going to be in for a tough night.
Who's going to do that at 185?
Let me tell you.
Brunson?
Yeah.
He'd really be the only one looking at the 185ers that I could see.
Brunson gives him a really tough fight.
Jack Hermanson?
Jack Hermanson gives him a really tough fight. You ready for this?
What?
Scott Bullard has his name's up right there. Chimaev bounces, and if Chimaev goes up to 185, he gives Alex Pereira a nightmare fight.
Guess we're going to find out, aren't we?
But if you want to see some fun stuff with Alex Pereira, you ready for my prediction?
Yes.
Kevin Holland.
Ooh, that's next.
Someone like Edmund Shabazian or Kevin Holland, right? And then you go up just a little bit. Hey, then you go up just a little bit more. Kelvin Gastelum.
Okay.
Because Kelvin can wrestle, and he doesn't do it a ton. He uses his boxing a lot, but against like Alex Pereira, if Kelvin decides to wrestle, he can wrestle, right?
Yeah.
And he's going to get somebody like Uriah Hall, Darren Till, something like that. And then he's going to get a Paulo Costa, Jared Cannonier type, maybe Derek Brunson. And I mean, here's the thing with Pereira. He probably on the feet gives Izzy's toughest fight in the UFC.
Yeah.
The question is, can he get to Izzy? Can he beat those wrestlers to get to Izzy? Izzy did it. He beat guys that could wrestle.
That's true. So is that a 2023 middleweight champ?
Yeah.
Alex Pereira? He's not very easy.
Here's the other problem with Pereira. It's going to be hard because he needs probably 4 more fights to get to the top.
Yeah.
He's going to have a hard time finding 4 guys say yes.
How old is Pereira? Oh, that's not him. I'm trying to find him on freaking. Why can't I find him? Anyways, 2023 Pereira's our champ. Is that it for today?
I'm not saying he beats Izzy because it's different, but I am saying if anybody can hang with Izzy on the feet, it's him.
Yeah.
And he's shown that, right?
Yeah, not enough chances. Yeah, I don't think same Scott. 34. I don't think he's. Yeah,
he's 34. That's what I'm saying. He's not going to do it. He's not going to have 4 guys say yes within a year span.
He's got about a 2-year window, maybe
2 to 3.
2 to 3 year window.
Mm-hmm.
Then Father Time comes knocking.
Yeah, usually around late 30s.
I think that's it for today. Got anything
else? Everybody, seriously, the reason why we got put on some random blog post on one of the top 50 MMA podcasts people should listen to is a lot because of the support. So thank you, everybody. We really appreciate it. Have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and we will see you all in 2022.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays.
And SteelFist started announcing their February card, Fierce Fighting Championship. Been starting to announce their January 29th card. Tickets are on sale. Go to Fierce's new website. If you go to fiercefightingchampionship.com, you can actually go click on the fighter that you want to support and buy tickets from. So get on there now. Maybe a good Christmas present and reserve your seats because Jason and I kind of know what's going on with that card a little bit, and it's going to be a fun night.
And with tickets only starting at $23.
Tickets only $23
at the Maverick Center, all pro card.
Awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
And then you followed up with a week later, 2 weeks later, your boy, Big Ben Mo is coming back at SteelFist.
I love Ben.
Oh, love it. Anyways,
Jesse Solomon, that's gonna be a good fight.
I love it. It's great. We will see you guys next year. Happy holidays. Have a great Christmas.